Impact of lines in photography. I kind of gathered a bunch of architectural lines because I like to take a lot of architectural shots. So I've just put them all together as one. And so it'll be a mix of different line types. The first 4 were taken during the Las Vegas document, all in Vegas. And it was, the snowy day that we had. And I loved it because it caused the sky to be cloudy, just this like soft gray, which is so rare in Vegas. So I took advantage of it. And it just sort of helped allowing the kind of sharp edges of the buildings near the Cosmopolitan and the Waldorf Astoria to really jump out. And the one on the far left is actually using the edge of the glass railing over one of the walkways. And that's kind of the reflection as well as looking through it that's causing that separation.
It's a beautiful abstract as well.
And it's all in camera. And so you just sort of play with what you have in front of you. And yeah.
When you were talking about the sky that day, if I remember back to that semester, I think it's rained or snowed every single Thursday for like 2 months.
Yep.
There's like never anything like that I experienced in that class. It was like every week it's like, oh my gosh, it's raining again.
It's like this random mix of the weirdest weather.
Oh, I'm like, and one of the things that I love about Vegas are those blue skies and the contrast that it creates. Yeah. I'm all about contrast. Like you guys all got excited that we had gray. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in Ohio.
I know. And coming from the Pacific Northwest, I'm just used to it. So I got it. I'm like, oh, I feel at home.
Ultimately, the best thing that you're doing is you're getting excited and you're saying, hey, just because it's not what I want, well, you did want it, but I didn't want it, but you got to go out and still make the images and turn what in your head might not be the perfect thing into something that works. So photographers are all about problem solving. And for me, those gray skies were a problem, but I still made great images. And
exactly.
Right here, so did you. So,
and I mean, it's various different perspectives of one area, but
it works so well. That one image is
to play with it. Yeah, I love the one on the left. I should really frame.
Yes, you should.
At some point. Again, now looking at architectural features and even just choosing one single point. So you can look up and use a corner that kind of creates some negative space in the sky, but then the architectural features stand out. So you've got angles, texture. This is using reflections as well as the building itself is a step back and make sure that you're in the right position so you can really make use of the feature of the building, kind of just gradually moving, and it allows you to pull your eye towards the edge there. Again, another Frank Lloyd Wright using negative space in the sky. And then this was in LA. This was totally different architectural feature, but I think it's the Automotive Museum there, and it was so unique. And I thought, oh, it's the black area is actually red, and then this is all silver. But I just loved how I then turned it black and white, and then I turned the red all the way down. So it really created that contrast. And then the sky, it was a horribly cloudy, rainy, again, the whole time we were in LA. It's just rainy, awful. So I made the most of it.
But embrace it.
Embrace it.
I have one little technical thing I want to talk about while we're looking at these for the students is that it's very common when you turn an image to black and white and you have a sky that is overcast for that sky to go white. And I just want everyone to take note of the edges here, that there's tone in the white background. So it's not pure white. And if it were pure white, it would just feel like the image fell away to nothing. It wouldn't feel like a photograph anymore. So we want to keep a little bit of tone in the sky. So think about that when you're processing. And obviously Kirsten did. Think about
Yes.
that. This is a good example, so that's why I'm pointing it out.
And it
So,
was a wonderful lesson I learned from you. So
oh, and of course, my dog is
I
barking.
know she's so excited. So now I'm going into just various different types of buildings. And this one, obviously many curves, and then the horizontal lines of the steps kind of broken by the people. And again, people are shapes in and of themselves and lines in and of themselves. So you can use the legs that kind of pull you up, you know. So there's lines and shapes and anything that can help accentuate your image. This is in Santa Fe. Oh, no, not Santa Fe. This was in Abiquiu in New Mexico. And I kind of love how the ladder pulls you up. And I love the adobe buildings there, just the soft curves and this, you know, kind of steps within the walls in and of themselves. And
Just how they hold the light too.
yeah, oh
It's like,
God, they're
oh, it's just
gorgeous.
the surface is beautiful.
It is. And of course, I needed to keep this one colored because of the beautiful contrast of the orange and blue. And that's playing with color theory as well, which I'm sure is something they will learn about.
Mhm.
Um, and then this was in Paris, and I did a bit of editing afterwards and played with some a gradient over top and some different colors to just kind of add that sort of old style feel because Paris. And I just love the old buildings there. They're so beautiful, the Art Deco. And then now I'm kind of looking at interiors. So this is in an old, this is actually at the university here in Guelph. And it's a brutalist building. And with brutalist buildings, you'll see a lot of concrete, a lot of metal. But they're so, a lot of people hate brutalist features, but I love them because you'll find lines in them, right? And I love lines. So this one, this is in a stairwell, but you see you know, the shapes within the concrete and then the angles of the railings kind of all work together. And then this is actually a stairwell in the art gallery here in Toronto. And this is I think it's Frank Gehry designed this feature. And it's just, you know, it's undulating, it curves and it just draws you around. And it's a beautiful, beautiful feature. Again, this was just my cell phone. And the colors are gorgeous again with the orange and the blue. And then this was actually in a museum, I think it was in Chicago. And of course, you'll always find some really amazing architectural features in museums and a lot of lines guiding you in different places, all into the center where you've got the sculpture there. And then this is more abstract use of contrast, use of lines guiding you to the architectural feature itself. This one just looking more on the side, so looking up but then tilting it to the side. And then this is in La Jolla at the Salk Institute. Just so many lines and so many features there as well.
That place.
Oh, I love it. I could spend the whole day there.
I did.
Oh, right on. And were you there when they had people hang gliding?
No.
Oh, we were there and there was all these hang gliders flying through the sky. It's like, oh, this is so gorgeous.
Oh,
Yeah.
incredible space.
It really is just a beautiful, beautiful design. Um, and then these are more of just the building in the environment and the kind of features and lines and shapes that you find, how they sit. That's in Vegas. The one on the left is in San Francisco. That's in LA. And then in Ontario here in Stratford. So architecture will always have unique shapes and features and lines. So really play with it. You can shoot from afar, you can shoot up close. Just kind of use them to your advantage. And this one also has converging lines guiding you to these, you know, vertical lines with angles and horizontal lines. It all plays together. And then again, architectural features with curves. vertical, you name it, diagonal, everything working together. And then just kind of playing with contrast, angles, lines. Yep. Let's see what you have. This is looking up
Love
from
that.
below, and those are just actual balconies, which is kind of weird that they've got grates, but yeah, balconies on a side of a building. This is just, another walkway in that Museum of Human Rights in Winnipeg, and this is in Toronto, and that's Toronto as well. Right. Yeah, and then good old Vegas. This is part of the Uncommon Vegas project I did.
Tell us more about
So
that.
yeah, so I photographed 100 mid-century modern commercial buildings in and around Vegas, and I did it for the Nevada, oh gosh,
Reservation.
Preservation Foundation. Oh, my brain. The
Yeah.
Nevada Preservation Foundation, and we put a book together, and it was to help bring attention to a lot of these buildings that could be saved. They have, their striking features in Vegas. Unfortunately, a lot of them have burnt down or have been torn down. But it's try to promote people to reuse old buildings in and around Vegas. And there's just some really cool ones that are just hidden. So yeah, I was bringing light to that. I love the one on the bottom right. I hope they do something with it. It looked like they were renovating it at the time, but yeah. Do you know if they've done
I
anything?
don't know. I'll have to go look.
Yeah, it would be nice. It'd be a great coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Especially if
drive in.
you could all sit under those wings.
Right? Yeah, get some shade.
Yeah. Oh, I love some coffee.
Oh, me too. And then this is just in Toronto, kind of playing with color and lines. Right.